The reason this is so important, and I cannot emphasize this enough, is because it tells you exactly where you need to go. If you're that student who goes into your paper one, and by the time you're actually writing your commentary, the time you're writing your essay, you are feeling overwhelmed and lost, that's because you're not doing this properly. You should never feel overwhelmed and lost. You should have a very clear idea of exactly where you're going with your response. And the way that happens is because when you give yourself these signposts, you have a very precise direction of thoughts. So now when we go and read this letter, I have deliberately not even shown you this piece of stimulus yet. That's how important I think this process is. Focusing on that guiding question. So now, after we've examined, identified, highlighted, and annotated all of these guiding questions, so we know this is the essence, this is the core of what we're looking at, then you go in with these eyes, with these thoughts, with these ideas, with these prompts to read the stimulus. You're reading the stimulus, combing through, looking for these things. You are thinking already in the way that we want you to address the answer. You are going to be taking precise notes and annotations. I always say to my students, when it comes to paper one, less is more. You can't completely cover your paper one. I don't know. For me personally, I feel like that's stressful. To look at that visually and just see a big fat mess on your paper, I think that's stressful. When you've already highlighted and annotated your key question, it means that every single note and annotation that you make on your paper one is 100% relevant. So many times I see kids going in, especially with literature when it's paper one and it's poetry, and they're just annotating everything till the cows come home. And I have to say to them, but wait a minute, do I even care about the fact that this is alliteration? Why does that even matter? Why are you annotating things that literally are going to have no bearing on your response? You're going to have no bearing on your analysis. I don't care about rhyming. I don't care about alliteration, you know. There's a lot of redundant annotations that are made. So this removes that. Every single annotation now that you're going to make is on point. By doing so, like I said, this is an opportunity. Every prompt that you make is a response towards your thesis. So all of these ideas that you're combing through and teasing out from this, from your paper one, your stimulus, is giving you ideas for then what your thesis could potentially be, what the overarching answer is going to be that you're going to put forward here. And again, it's giving you an opportunity to consider, what's the global context here? What's the purpose of this letter? What's the greater benefit of it from a social perspective? And then finally, also you're specifically going to be looking at how it's achieved. Specifically here, kids, what I mean is, how is it achieved through the genre of the letter? Okay, so we're looking here around specifically the letter.